Rough Edge FM. Irritatingly irresistible internet radio at roughedgefm.com.
From the land of lemons, magic, and neighbors who still wave, it's Voices of the Valley. Join hosts Jim and John as they shine a spotlight on local businesses, city council news, community events, and all the colorful characters that make the Santa Clara River Valley feel like home. From Santa Paula to Fillmore and Peru, this is your hometown podcast, Voices of the Valley.
All right. May I be the first to say Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Christmas in July. Everybody's advertising.
Oh, my God.
Crazy. Christmas in July.
We are already planning the Christmas holiday.
Yeah, usually about 6 months out.
Yeah.
You start working on it.
The plan. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
We are in, and we're like heading towards the middle of July now.
Yeah.
Not just the start of July. We're heading towards the middle.
June, and now we're a week away from the middle of the month.
I got to go.
Yeah, you go. We set it off.
All right. So
don't tell me I got this today. I'm good. Just follow my lead, and then you're like, "See ya."
Yeah, I got to run. So, all right. In fairness, I had a few things that were going on last week that I had to take care of.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I do want to give a what would it be called? A consumer alert.
Okay.
Or awareness.
Okay.
So, are you aware that in the state of California, it is required by law for a car dealership to give you the price of, if you're doing financing, and they have a habit of throwing on all this extra stuff, that they are obligated by law to give you the price of what the loan is with that stuff, as well as without that stuff.
I didn't know they had to do both.
Yes.
Okay.
By law, they have to disclose what the payment is with it and without it.
Okay.
So I'm going to take responsibility for some of this, okay? Because some of it's my fault.
Okay.
When we went to the dealership, Van Nuys, by the way, I highly recommend them as a drive-by dealership. Okay. Like, just keep driving. Don't stop.
Quite a few of those. Okay. Okay.
So when we first went, we went in and we sat down for the loan, and they play the stupid game. I think we talked about this last week, where they take the paper and they put it upside down, like they're going to divulge some great mystery, which essentially says, "Well, this is a lot of money, but I'm going to figure out, we'll sneak this in.
Here's your payment. Look at that. Check that out."
It's like, just show me the friggin' numbers. I'm not 4 years old, And so he gives us the thing, and I look at the sheet and I see there's like $5,000 worth of add-ons. So I'm like, I look at it and I go, how did the price of the car go from $19,000 to $25,000? Oh, well, the bank requires this, which, by the way, was stated when I was doing the research. That is like the number one thing that a lot of these dealerships try to throw out there, is that this is required by the financing. And according to the state of California, no, it's not. None of it is.
The bank doesn't care. They
No.
want a final price.
Yeah. They're financing the car, and that's it. So that's the first thing they do. So I told them, so after we saw that, and the price was like $250 more than what we wanted to pay, Julie and I got up and we left. Should have just kept going. We get in the car, we start backing out. The sales manager comes out with the sales guy and says, "Hey, we really want to work with you. Of course, we want you in this car. Yeah. So what's it going to take?" And so I told him the price range that we were willing to go up to, because I'm paying $200 a week on gas driving to Piru and whatnot. So I told him, and he's like, "Well, let me see what I can do." And I said, "For starters, you can get rid of all the crap that you put on the loan." So he goes out, comes back, says that he got the number down by $200, so it's $50 more than what I wanted to pay. But I'm like, that's okay, because I knew we're going to save money on gas and whatnot. So so I asked him, I said, did you get rid of all the crap? And he said, yes. We sit down the financing, and instead of understanding that from the get-go, I should have known that these people are not scrupulous. They don't have very many scruples.
Mm-hmm.
So I should have really studied the financing, but I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And Julie was sitting down, and because we did the car in her name. And so she's signing everything. Well, I look at the paperwork when we get home a couple of days ago. I'm going through it. I'm looking up something, and I look at the detail. They added $7,000 worth. They added the tracker. What's that called?
Oh, the low jack.
Low jack.
Mm-hmm.
They had a low jack for $3,500, and they added a maintenance plan for $3,500.
Okay.
$7,000.
Mm-hmm.
That would have more than brought down our payment,
Yeah,
to where we wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I saw that, I got pissed. I was mad.
Mm-hmm.
And so Julie did some research, I did some research, and we found out that in the state of California, even if you sign the loan documents, it is illegal for them to add those items on and not go full disclosure. And full disclosure is, this is what your loan is with it, and this is what your loan is without it. And they did not do that. And so so we basically gave them sent them a letter of 10-day demand that they refund us on that money.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is that, we talked about the car battery, right? Well, the low jack was the thing that was draining the battery. So we don't even have the low jack in our car anymore, because I made them take it out because it was draining the battery.
Mm-hmm.
And so so we gave them 10 days. They're not going to comply. But there's about 3 or 4 different California agencies. There's the Attorney General's office. There's the California of financial whatever. There's the California insurance whatever. So there's about 3 or 4 California agencies that you can report it to, as well as you can seek legal action, which I am going to do totally through. I will go as far as even filing a lawsuit against them. I am so pissed
Mm-hmm.
at this company, and it's mind-boggling that companies like this can exist when it's not just me they're doing this to.
Oh no.
And it's like, how do these absolutely deceitful, unreputable organizations, businesses survive operating under this type of, we talked about it being in the climate,
Mm-hmm.
or the culture.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one person in this organization that I respect, and her name is Rose. And so Rose has been very kind about trying to make sure that our issues get resolved, and she was followed through with things and stuff like that. Our car, by the way, still had to get jump started twice since we've had it back, so the battery is still an issue.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest of this organization is just I can't say enough bad things about them.
Mm-hmm.
And so much so that I am willing to go out and buy Facebook ads and Google ads just to promote the fact of how awful and despicable this organization is.
Sometimes that has a lot of power.
So
Using social media.
it probably won't do a damn thing to them other than it's going to give me satisfaction. But
the hope is they come back and just say, hey, we'll refund you all your stuff, whatever you need. But I doubt it.
no, it's gonna go down with a fight because they don't care.
Yeah,
they don't care. Organizations like that, the only thing they care about is sales quotas and and they don't care how they get there. Obviously, this salesperson did not come up with the banks require it on their own. It's obviously something that is done routinely in car dealerships because it was mentioned in this California civil code.
It's that second level, not the initial guy that greets you and talks to you. It's just the manager above that. That's, I think, that point above is when they start doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys are outside. They're just there to get you in the door. But the real numbers are the next guy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it's a total cultural thing. They're trained in order to do that.
Yeah, exactly. And you wonder if people that have that have a conscience, they're just like knowing this isn't right, but yet they still do it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I went to one dealership and it was like you walked into a pack of vultures.
Yeah, they'll sit outside waiting.
They're all and then you walk in and they're all like racing to.
They want to see who gets there first or whatever.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's literally like vultures feeding off of a dead prey.
Yeah, you feel like that after.
Oh, you do.
Yeah,
you totally do.
Oh, gee.
So,
wow.
Yeah, but anyway, Van Nuys Kia. I do not recommend them for a car dealership. I would not recommend them. And not that anybody probably in our listening audience would go down there to purchase a car, but I would like to just say buyer beware.
Yeah, anytime you go.
If you go out and you're getting financing at a car dealership, check what they've written down and make darn sure that they're giving you a document that shows what the loan is with those items and without those items. Because I can tell you, I have never been in a dealership that has done that. And according to this law, it's required by law.
And they probably all do this because nobody ever has questioned them on it.
Yeah.
So.
And if you get the one or two that does, then it's like, oh, yeah, let me go. I'm sorry. We get that dog.
That is a rule.
Huh?
A lot of them probably don't even know.
Probably not.
It's probably when it was written. So
yeah,
it's too bad. So yeah, but you're right. Buyer beware. You do that.
I will say that I don't do this often to the state of California, but hats off to the state of California for doing some real consumer protection type laws because most of the time you look at these laws and you're going, who are you protecting?
Yeah, there's a few good ones every once in a while. So,
yeah,
but yeah, you tend to, that impression is that it's always steered back to them. But yeah, good. At least you figured that out.
Yep. So I'll keep you abreast as this
is a 6-month conversation.
Oh yeah.
Maybe we do a 10-minute update every week. Oh, we did 10 minutes with Tim. Maybe we do 10 minutes about your car.
Yeah, we'll do 10 minutes of Van Nuys.
There you go.
So what I would really love to do is, they have these billboards now, these digital billboards, and you can rent space. You can actually put up a digital ad from your PC and present them on these billboards.
Does that place have that big billboard, like if it's an auto center type thing?
That would be beautiful, wouldn't it?
Right there.
That would be absolutely beautiful.
They'd be like, what? Going on here?
I would probably only be able to afford the one that sits at the middle of the night at 2 a.m. But just to have it up there, that would be
pay for it for a week, just to
even
a few days.
I would totally, if I could get it up on a billboard, even if it was at 1 a.m, I would totally drive down there at 1 a.m. just to snap a picture of it.
Exactly. Yep. Then you post it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's too bad, but hopefully things get better.
So we had the 4th of July, 250th anniversary. Did it feel any different for the 250th?
The only thing I noticed, because we were camping for the weekend.
Yeah, and by the way, I apologize for not showing up.
Didn't even text me or anything.
I was going. Yeah, I was in so much pain the next day, and I didn't end up doing anything. And in fact, Julie was like, "Are we supposed to go to John's?" And I'm like, "Oh shoot." I didn't say shoot.
I actually considered buying you Dr. Pepper.
Did you?
Yeah.
You didn't though, did you?
I didn't, because I didn't hear from you.
Oh.
I was actually going to run to the store and pick you up something, but no.
So how long did you stay at the campground?
We were there till Monday.
till Monday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Monday. So we're there Thursday through Monday.
Yeah, I did feel bad. You can ask Julie.
Okay, well, it's all right.
So-
Next year. But no, one thing I did notice that was a little bit different, where people had more flags out. They were more patriotic this year. Just you saw, because you put a flag up for 4th of July, whatever. But I mean, people had like campgrounds were fully decorated with stuff. It was kind of cool to see that, and it was like everybody in our row, everybody had something. Where before you'd have a few things here and there, but I think more people got into it a little bit more, and I think a lot of it had to do also with the soccer, the
Yeah.
FIFA stuff, and the United States was still in it, so there's a lot of pride there. So, so it seemed like it was a little bit more on that, but take that away, it's another holiday,
Yeah.
So, but it's good. It's good to it was a little more feel good, I think, this year. I don't know about at the park.
So it was the park. It got busier as the night went on. It didn't start out very busy. So the park opened up at 4:00 at the sports park in Santa Paula. I was talking with somebody in Piru, and they said they actually had a really super cool fireworks show. And I guess there's like 3 or 4
It's the unauthorized one. Yeah.
groups that get together and they launch off their own show, and everybody had a really good time and totally dug it.
Yeah.
But so it was so funny because the Santa Paula show, I had to work at the restaurant that night.
Okay.
And so I left the park at about 5:30, 5:45.
Yeah.
And by that time, it had started to get really busy, and the band was going to start at 6:00. And so after I finished the restaurant, I drove down Telegraph, and I just kind of sat there around where the Boys and Girls Club was.
Yeah.
And waited for the event to get over, and so I wouldn't get stuck in all that traffic.
Mhm.
And I made my wife walk to me from the park to there.
It's a long walk.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, God.
It was a little over a mile.
Wow. She
So
liked you after that?
yeah,
Oh,
but it was funny because I'm watching and I see this fireworks show go off, and I'm like, did it start? And she's like, no, it's not started yet. They're late. Because it was 9:15 when it actually finally went off, or 9:20 around there. And I'm like, but I'm watching the show, and she's like, well, no, that's in the neighborhood, but that's not ours. And so then the fireworks finally start, and there's 2 places in that area that had some massive fireworks show,
yeah.
like the pro level kind of stuff. And so they're launching off their stuff, and I'm watching the ones from the park. And then it came to the grand finale, and the group that was kind of they were in line with the park. So from my view, from the Boys and Girls Club, it was this rebel group, and then the park. Well, they launched their grand finale, which was shooting lower than the other one. But it was like, holy crap, what an impressive grand finale.
And I know that group. I know where it's at.
Do
Yeah,
you?
they do that every year.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was like totally impressive. So there was 1 arrest this year.
Yeah.
And
A small fire associated with that.
I'm not sure, but it involved alcohol, and it was somebody from the sheriff's department.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was a fire that night too.
There was.
Yeah,
Okay.
up on the hill there.
Oh, okay.
So somebody from it's in the Santa Paula Times, but I guess there was somebody that was in the area that they shouldn't have been, and I guess they were shooting fireworks or something, and it kind of started a small fire, and then they ended up catching that person a little bit later on.
Okay.
But yeah.
And they got the fire out.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was real small.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this involved somebody from the sheriff's department, and so apparently they arrested them, and they're gonna let the sheriff deal with them and discipline and whatnot. But fireworks and alcohol don't mix.
Yeah. Nope.
They do not mix.
Alcohol and anything don't mix.
Well, in a lot of cases, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
well, I heard it was a decent show this year.
it was a decent show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a good time. They had all these the jolly jumps and everything for the kids, and it was all free. And
The city does a good job putting that on. Yeah.
they had some food trucks, and so the city of Fillmore had their car show. And did they do their fireworks show that night?
They do it the night before the 3rd.
Okay.
Yeah, they do it at the high school there on the 3rd.
Okay. And that's kind of what Ventura did. Ventura launched their fireworks off of the garage downtown.
Mm-hmm. That was different. That was new.
Very different.
Yeah.
And they were low.
Oh, what?
They did not shoot them high at all.
Wow. Okay.
They were low. I'll bet you 50 feet above the garage.
Not very high.
No, it wasn't high at all.
They must not pay for great fireworks. They must have just had somebody just go.
I mean, they had a decent show, but I don't know what their point was as far as shooting them low. If they were concerned with if they went too far and with everything that's around, I don't know.
It's the difference in their lower high. I mean,
yeah, but it was I don't think you'd be able to see them from a lot of places because they were shooting that low.
I thought the point was to shoot them off of there so reach a larger area where you could see them, like from the pier. You could see them from over there by Cemetery.
You probably would have been able to see them from the pier, but
I don't know.
They had a really great band there downtown. Yeah, I know there's a lot of debate about the closing of the street and everything. There's a lot of people that are unhappy about it. But I kind of wish Santa Paula would close its downtown. It's a cool vibe.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really cool vibe.
It goes back and forth with Ventura because I look at it as like, okay, close it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but during the week, leave it open. I know it's not set up for that, but if you could figure out how to do that, because a lot of those businesses rely on traffic. And if they have to parking structure, they just don't have that drive-by traffic, which a lot of them rely on. So,
okay, I get that. Well, one, and all these restaurants now have their footprint.
That's why you can't do
there.
it.
Yeah. But Julie and I there were thousands of people downtown.
Oh, yeah.
Thousands.
Yeah.
Not one store that was like, a furniture or novelty or like the old fashioned store that has all the old memorabilia stuff. Not one store. The only store that was open was the Buffalo whatever.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Buffalo Exchange.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they closed at 8.
Mm-hmm.
But they were all closed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, you got this perfect opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
You got thousands of people in your footprint that are looking for stuff to do. They were just walking up and down the street because they're waiting for the activities to start, and you're closed. And then you're going to bitch and moan about the fact that you don't get any business because the downtown streets are not, they're closed.
Hence my struggle when I ran the chamber here and we were doing events downtown.
Yeah.
If you're bringing thousands of people to your area, you should be open. You should be able to cater to them. You should be able to greet them. And, they struggle with that with cruise night still.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot. When I'd have events downtown, a lot of businesses just shut the doors. And they're like, oh, no, we're not getting business. But how do you know that?
Right.
And you look at stores that are open and they're busy. You know? So, yeah. And that goes on in every city. That's downtown. And you're never going to figure it out. But yeah, if you have, I would bring in, we had an event, we have like the holiday parade. We had at night, we had over 8,000 people downtown, and the stores were complaining because they wanted to close because they said they get no business. Well, if you have 8,000 people downtown, you should be able to set up something within your footprint that's going to help bring people in.
Yeah.
Offer them some kind of little candy cane or whatever, and get them in the store just to look around. You never know.
I do understand to a degree that, like with the holiday parade, for example, the Christmas parade, people are coming down for the parade. They're parking their butt down in a spot because they want to get their spot. And then after the parade is done, everybody's just packing up and leaving. So I get that to a degree. But there still is a moment where people are coming in, they're early.
Yeah, they set up their stuff early.
And so they'll put up a lounge chair and pull up string, and then you see them walking.
Yeah. They're just killing time.
Yeah.
You know?
And as far as the cars driving by, there's only so much parking space
The way it's
in
set
the
up.
front of your store.
Mhm.
So what happens to all the other cars that are driving that? They're not stopping at your store because there's no space in front of your store.
Yeah.
And so, how is it that a car driving by is being any more attractive than if somebody was walking down the street?
Yeah. They have enough data now from it being open and being closed that they could probably figure out how it supports both.
Yeah.
How it's supported. So, 'cause I know there's been, it comes up with council in Ventura every so often about are they going to extend it, keep it open, or whatever. But they can figure out that right formula. Thank you. They can figure out the right formula, which seems like they're starting to figure it out. I mean, hopefully it'll help. They got to get the right businesses down there too.
My understanding is that they made this permanent
Yeah,
until
it comes up again, until somebody brings it up
Right.
again, open it, which it'll come up usually probably in a year or so. Somebody will come up.
Yeah.
But if they're going to keep it closed, they got to figure out what's the right footprint for this. Maybe they shrink it down a little bit. Maybe it's not going to be as as long, because it's a big footprint.
I would tell you that if I was a business and I was setting up downtown, I would want to be in the closed section, not in the open section, because I want all those people that are walking down the street. And if I'm in the open section, the driving section, the only ones that are going to come see me are the ones that are in their car.
Yeah.
And at that point, I don't have any guarantee that they're going to stop and see me.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Got a caller calling?
yeah, we did, but I don't want to talk to him. So.
Yeah, there's never going to be a perfect formula for that, but if they continue to have success and they're bringing that many people downtown, then hopefully the businesses will understand. It's an education for the business. I tried hard to get these businesses to understand. Some got it, some didn't, and that's fine. That's their choice.
Restaurants, obviously, I mean, they're the big winners.
That's a given.
Yeah,
yeah,
they're definitely the big winners.
Yeah.
But there's still some. We have enough unique shops that as people are walking by, there's things that they're not going to be able to see anywhere else.
Yeah.
And to me, that would be attractive.
Yeah, and we just got to keep pushing that, keep figuring out how to support that. But business owners got to invest in it too.
Right.
They've got to be able to market within their own business. They can't just open the doors and hope people come in.
Right. Right.
Some do it better than others.
And you got to take advantage of the. So what is the stipulation for encroachment on the sidewalks?
As far as
like a business setting up a clothing rack or something else.
Well,
are is there laws or
it depends on the city.
Okay.
Like you see in Ventura, I don't really see a lot of stuff sitting outside.
No.
There might be an ordinance for that, but if you look at here in town,
obviously the restaurants are sitting outside big time.
You look at the businesses here, and there's some stores that set up things outside. A lot of them do. They set up stuff outside. I don't know if the ordinance is, how it's spelled out. And I don't even know if they know what the ordinance is. So I don't know if that's. I don't know. I have to look at that, but I'm under the impression that you can't put it out there, but yet again, the city is allowing it to do.
Yeah.
So. And I know
sometimes there's just the, I'm just looking the other way.
Yeah, and a lot of cities do that.
Yeah.
As long as it's not obstructing things, if somebody's setting up a rack outside, great.
Right.
If they're setting up other things that are hazardous, like I've seen restaurants set up a grill out there and doing that. Well, you can't do that.
Right.
There's certain things you can and can't do. So I guess it's just up to the city how they enforce that. So. You have to have a compliance person that come out and check it. And I don't know the status of that in the city here.
Right.
So we'll see.
So we're about out of time. Do you have anything to announce?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Not till it's official. Come on now. So,
I forgot everything. So
I know.
Yeah.
So.
So the looking at Fillmore.
Mm-hmm.
Fillmore's downtown is a little different than our downtown.
Much different.
It's still got that same cool appeal to it, but for some reason, with the 120, I don't know what's better. You have the 126 going through the center of your town, which is great for the stores that are on that strip because people can just, deviate off. Or in Santa Paula, where you're on the freeway and you have to get off the freeway to get, it's kind of like, what's the better of the two? Would we be benefited by having the 126 drive through our downtown?
Well, before they built the freeway, a lot of people would go through downtown.
Yeah.
But once they built that freeway, it was just, and everybody always says, well, they bypass Santa Paula because they just stay on the freeway. So there's arguments for, it helps downtown Fillmore to have it run through the center or the main business district, but it's hurting the downtown because people are just zooming by and
they're not deviating from that strip.
It's hard to know where downtown is when you're on the 126 and you're going fairly fast. It's like, oh shoot, that was downtown. Well, you're gone.
Yeah.
So you got the freeway here, in Santa Paula, it's you can find downtown pretty easily.
And honestly, I find their downtown, their architecture and everything like that to be far more beautiful than our downtown.
Yeah, it's a lot more of that really Mayberry type hometown look. It's smaller. It's a much smaller footprint.
Right.
They only have the streets are small. The street's smaller, but it does have a certain charm to it.
Yeah, it's got a really cool vibe, and the buildings seem to be well maintained, and and I know we're fighting in Santa Paula with the whole facade, trying to get the funding for that, and that's kind of a whole mess in itself, which I wish they could figure out because I think there are a lot of businesses that would love to fix up their facades.
Like almost 4 years now.
Yeah,
and it makes no sense whatsoever.
I know E&D is one, Gather and Play is one.
There's several that were. I think when I was there, we had 14 applications at the time.
Really?
And only like 3 qualified as far as had the right information. And it's still the same ones that are qualified. And here we are.
Palazzo was one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know the progress on it. It's ridiculous that it's taking so long. They do need to figure out how to do this. But what's happening is a lot of people are just doing it themselves anyway.
Right.
They can't wait. I mean, you can't wait 4 years to do your project.
No, and it, in order to kind of capture that whole like the Mayberry kind of vibe and everything, I think it's and unfortunately, if you're doing it and your neighbors on each side aren't, then you just kind of get lost in this eyesore.
Well, I think the whole point was we get the ones initially doing it, and that kind of gets the other people excited about doing it too.
Yeah.
But you got to start somewhere. There's got to be the initial ones that start this, and that was the whole idea of setting this up that way. And then because some are reluctant to do it because I have to put out money. Well, you put out a little bit of money, but you get a bunch back on the other end of it. So and some didn't need these big projects. They needed maybe just a paint job or whatever like that. So, but there was nobody to really manage that, and that was partially, I think that falls on the city because I don't think they did a great job as far as facilitating that correctly. The PBID gave money towards it, which was great. The city council gave money to it, but it was the staff that didn't implement it probably the best way.
And it sounds like there's some red tape that they didn't anticipate.
Because you have to determine whether if you fix it, is it prevailing wage? Can you do it on your own? There's a lot of legal things that are part of it. Fillmore faced the same thing when they did the facade program. So and that fell by the wayside too.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of layers to it. But I was hoping after so long, we fought a long time to get that thing going, and we were close, and then just kind of flatlined.
Right.
So I don't know. But they got to use some of the funding. I think some of that was stuff from COVID. So I think the city's got to use some of that funding. So they may redirect it, which is they're going to have to. They lose it. So
right.
But which makes sense, and then they'll just pull it from the general fund. So there's a lot of layers, and I honestly don't know if it's going to get solved in the next year. But it's frustrating for downtown business.
Right.
You're trying to do all these things, and you have a group of business leaders that the PBID, the Property Business Improvement District, that's trying to help facilitate this, and they're just not in sync with the city right now. So it'll happen at some point, but you just hope it's sooner than later. And then, we'll see the dynamics. We have a possibly new city manager coming in the next year. You saw the whole thing with Mr. Singer. He's not, the council's not going to retain him beyond his contract. So that just came about. So
now Dan was always talking about retiring.
Yeah, so maybe he will. But I know they announced it, and there was a press release that he's staying on through his contract, which is the end of June next year, and then during that time they're going to be in search for a new city manager. So we'll see.
Why announce it a year in advance?
That was my question too.
Yeah.
Like, why are you even doing? Because I look at it, if they find a city manager over this next, say, 3 or 4 months, then they're not going to keep him. They're going to end up paying him out for the balance of his contract, probably. I don't know. I don't know how that process is, and I don't know the insides of what happened, but I'm sure. Oh, Tim knows.
You've just been nominated for city manager.
Hey, I don't think I have all the qualifications for it. I have some, but I don't know if I have all the qualifications for it. But I may interject myself in other ways. So, yeah, it's interesting how that went about, and they're honoring him for a year, which I get it, and Dan's been gracious enough to stay on another year, because he could easily have said, "You're not going to keep me, then just pay me out for my contract, and I'm done." But
right.
But I think he cares about the city so much and he lives here, so he wants to make sure they bring somebody in place. But I mean, he could be here a month, he could be here the entire year. You don't know. So that's council did that in closed session. So I don't know the details, and it's their choice.
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to come out at some point down the line.
Yeah.
So, but hey, Dan's been a great city manager. He's probably been one of the best ones I've worked with, and I've seen here in many, many years growing up here. I'm disappointed that he's not staying.
I had told Dan one time that he is an eloquent speaker. He does not use a lot of the fill words or the buzzwords. He's very well spoken.
Mm-hmm. Well spoken. He's open. He's not afraid to talk to you about things.
Yeah.
He has a great track record here in town. I mean, what he's brought to this community. Yes, there's been a few hiccups, but everybody has hiccups.
Yeah.
But
nobody's going to be perfect.
Overall, he's brought millions of dollars to this community that I think a lot of people don't see.
Yeah.
So I'll miss him as city manager, but like I said, he's probably been one of the best ones I've seen. So it's too bad that they're not going to keep him, but they have their reasons, and that's their prerogative.
So it wasn't him deciding that he was retiring.
No, I don't know. It may have been a mutual understanding, but if the council's not going to renew his contract beyond this one, then that's pretty much,
Well, we'll find out what the scoop is.
You never know. A year from now, who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, I know.
So it could change their mind if they can't find a good person. You never know, So and then it's a question: does he even want to stay beyond a year?
Right.
So you never know.
And I think Dan is an amazing human being, and I think the community is going to be better with him being part of it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and he's not going anywhere.
No,
he said he's staying here, so he will be missed in that role, though.
Yeah,
so it's going to be hard for somebody to follow him in that capacity. But I always enjoyed working with him, and we're friends. So,
yeah. Alrighty. We'll have to have maybe Tim do a 10-minute with Tim segment on Dan.
Yeah, he probably
he started did.
Probably knows a lot more than we do. That man's got some good insight.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, maybe as it gets close to the end, we invite Dad to come in and talk about his career here.
Yeah,
I think that would be good.
That would be good.
Yeah.
All right, we will talk to y'all next week. Happy belated 250th birthday, and
we're still celebrating for at least a year, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So
that works for me.
Yeah.
We'll see y'all next week.
This has been a Rough Edge Studios production.